road last 2 times.
Let's check in with Krista Voda. Krista?
Well, Dario Franchitti has competed here at this track in an open wheel, an Indy Racing League, and now in the stock car. I know this experience is not what you dreamed of, is it?
No, it isn't really. The racing's been really fun. I've really enjoyed it today. But the seams on the track are like, it's like ice out there. As soon as you hit a seam, I mean, I hit one a couple of times. Each time I lost at least 3 or 4 places. It's a real shame because it's, I feel sorry for the fans right now. They're all sitting here. They've all stayed around all day, and we're not getting any kind of racing. But Target Dodge is a little free, but we're working on it. So I don't think we're going to go racing much more tonight. I don't know.
And you look you're shivering a little bit. Cold out here.
I'm bloody freezing. It's California, and I'm freezing. But yeah, they've been fighting this weather all week, and I'm going to go find myself somewhere warm to hang out.
Okay. Dick Berggren.
Tony Stewart standing here in the rain. What's going on with your car tonight?
Struggling with it right now, but normally with the Cup car I'm a bottom feeder, but I've been on top the whole night now and seem to be halfway decent doing it. So I can't remember those guys up front yet, but Zippy and the guys on the Home Depot team are doing a good job of making adjustments and working on it here. So man, Mother Nature, she's tough today.
She's not a race fan today, is she?
No, not at all. We didn't need that red flag, that's for sure. I mean, that got us behind here, but we'll keep battling it out here. I mean, we're battling Mother Nature, but I tell you, the biggest troopers are the people across the fence over there in the stands. They've been the ones that have been cold and wet all day long and haven't given up yet. So they get my award for toughest people today.
Ours too. Matty?
And Dick, we're at the front of the grid. We're trying to conserve our cover here with the shrub Kyle Busch. First off, that thing looked like a rocket coming through the field.
No, I'm just kidding. I was going to say it's just a driver, but that would be cocky, wouldn't it? No. It is. It's really fun. It's this Interstate Batteries Toyota, man. I told you from Daytona when we were fast there, and we were fast in Vegas, and we're fast down here in California. So right now, being in California, though, it's not so sunny outside. It's pretty wet.
It's actually dark too.
It is dark, and it is very wet. So we're struggling on keeping the track, but NASCAR, we've lost the racetrack. So we'll just
we'll pass that on the Buster.
Yeah, we'll see what we can get going when we get back out here if we do.
You mentioned this place is becoming a lot like Darlington.
It is. I mean, running around there just under caution, you can really hear the sand flying up in the quarter panels, and the windshields are terrible. They're just getting ate up by all the rocks and stuff like that. So I don't know where the sand's really coming from. Darlington, it's known for the sandy ground and stuff like that. Out here, it's not so bad, but it's just the way the place is, I guess. So it's fun to drive, though. Everybody out there is kind of slipping and sliding a little bit tight, a little bit loose here or there or whatnot. But for us, the car seems to be handling pretty well. We're just a little bit on the tight side, kind of riding around there, and driving up through the field's fun. But getting it up towards the front there, trying to battle it out with the 24 and 48 just to see what we got with them.
And speaking of windshield tear-offs, Chris, Jeff Burton's team told him he's going to have to try to conserve his tear-offs on his windshield. He only has 2 left.
All right, we heard mention of fans from Tony Stewart, Kyle Busch, weathering the storm or the rain out here, and both drivers are thinking the racetrack is lost for the night. We'll wait for official word from NASCAR, but while we check the leaderboard with Jimmy Johnson leading, Kyle Busch currently 3rd. You have Greg Biffle 4th and Casey Kane 5th. A couple of guys who've won here in California before, have in pretty good position.
Yeah, I mean, you expect those guys right there to be where they are right now. Again, we still got a long ways to go. And Chris, I've just got to kind of go back at you and say, thinking about the race fans and how committed they are and how passionate they are about the sport, kind of reminds you of the fans that I think you dealt with up in Green Bay earlier this year when the weather was so cold. I remember watching you on the sidelines how cold it was, and you weren't very comfortable, but yet the fans hung in there all during that game, just like these fans have hung in here all day with us.
Yeah, it was 20 below, and even though the game went to overtime and the home team lost, yeah, they hung in there. It's been more than overtime. Larry, Daryl, Mike, we've had like triple overtime here. We're not done yet. We still have a long way to go.
It feels like that, and we're not even quite close to halfway. You see those long shots of the grandstand. What looks like a lot of rain is really just a light rain, but it's all the distance from the camera lens to the people, and you see all the water droplets that it looks like it's raining a lot harder than it is. Nevertheless, it's cold, it's damp, it's wet. But these race fans are diehards. They want to see this event. NASCAR still has a couple of jet dryers and trucks out on the speedway. They've not given up on the racetrack yet.
No, but, I mean, how many clues do you need? I mean, we've had unusual circumstances that we've had to deal with here in a short period of time, or not in a short period of time, but it's been a long day already. And these guys down here, they got to be getting aggravated.
And
the weather rock is wet.
Yeah, so I don't even have to cut the Weather Channel on, but I think the biggest thing when I think about the crews and even think about the drivers is you know what, if we're going to have to keep starting and stopping, you know what, maybe that's the best thing to do is just wait till we know we can take the green flag and we can keep going to the end of this thing.
Well, you've had one pretty long green flag run, so you have had a pretty good chance to figure out what your race car is going to do. Now, if this race is postponed until tomorrow, is there anything you can do with these cars in the interim?
Absolutely not. All they'll let you do maybe in the morning is maybe warm them up just a little bit, and you're going to go right back out there. You can't adjust tape. You can't do anything. It's just like the red flag is out, but for overnight.
And it's a little bit more misery, really. Because now if your car's not very good, you got all night to think about how bad it is, and I got to get back in that thing. Like Dale Jr., he'll have to come back and get his wrecked race car and go racing tomorrow just like there's nothing wrong with it, and that's a tough, tough deal to have to deal with.
All right, let's go down on the grid where the drivers are out of their cars. Dick Berggren.
Okay. Well, Jeff Gordon, you had an absolute rocket at the beginning of this race. Looks like it dropped back a little bit. What's going on?
We just lost a little bit of track position. You know, we had some debris on the grill, and we had to get that off, and that cost us a position or two. And then we almost had a collision there on pit road. So we got a nice opening in front of us, but still pretty hectic out there. But the DuPont Chevrolet is unbelievable. It's one of the best cars I've ever had. It's really strong on the restarts. So traffic really changes these cars a lot, and that's we're learning all those things right now. So we've had to free the car up a little bit while we're in traffic. Just see what happens when we get back out there.
With the rain coming and going, is it changing the racetrack, changing the grip you have on it?
Well, we haven't had a chance to really lay rubber down on the racetrack. So, I think that it's going to change, but it's just got a ton of grip at the beginning each time, and the cool temperatures keep a lot of grip in it. So once the rubber gets down, it's going to be interesting to see the grooves widen out and see, which car and team is the one to beat.
Okay, might be you.
All right, thanks, Dick Berggren. And Jeff Gordon, as the rain continues to fall with Jeff Hammond. And Mike mentioned some of the options here, right? If we had to run tomorrow, I guess we could suspend the race now. If this does blow through, and again, strong Santa Ana winds could help with that. And there is a chance, of course, that the rain is not in the forecast for later this evening. Coming up, we're going to show you The Simpsons, and then you'll get your late local news on the East Coast. And at 11 Eastern, 8 Pacific, we'll come back for an update. If they are continuing to race, we'll give you that information, or if it has been postponed and continued until tomorrow. So, Jeff, you've been in this position as a crew chief. Give us some of the options, what you think NASCAR is considering, given the clues Darrell pointed out.
I'll just do it real simple. This is what you're going to do right now. We're going to kick our feet up,
all right,
and we're going to wait for the rain to stop, and we're going to drive the racetrack, and then we're going to go back racing. That's all you can do is just kick back and relax.
He just wanted to show off his boots. Did you get a boot deal? Is that part of your
Yeah, you got to have Justin boots if you want to do this kind of stuff. But, at the same time,
Jeff Hammond's just going to relax.
I'm just going to relax, and, hey, I'm going to watch a little bit of The Simpsons while I watch it rain.
Simpsons very funny. I want to see if Mo gets cranky or not, all right? And if the comic book guy, he's always cranky. and if the comic book guy talks racing and Homer Simpson will do something really silly.
Kind of like you.
No, I don't relate like Homer Simpson. No, I would be more like, Chief Wiggins? No,
yeah, there you go.
All right, so Jeff's going to kick back and relax. I'll do some more research here, and we have Mike, Larry, and Darrell upstairs, and our pit crew continuing to stay on top of the drivers down below as the rain continues to fall. As now the cars are parked and they are seeking a warm spot somewhere. It's the Auto Club 500, powered by Q Motor Oil, but dominated by the weather here at the Auto Club Speedway in San Bernardino, California. We still have a couple more minutes before we're going to go to The Simpsons, so Jeff, you're going to have to put your boots back on the floor and man up.
I've got
cowboy up.
Yeah, I got a cowboy up. Okay, well, cowboy up. Then I was waiting on the to come on. But, you know, this, again, you've got an advantage here by having teammates. I guarantee you when these guys go inside their transporters, they're not just going to run back to their coaches and just kind of like forget everything. They've got an opportunity to discuss some stuff. So now's the time to get the crew chiefs in there, get the engineers in there, and try to anticipate what's going to happen here between now and the halfway point. If we get a chance to go back green, this could be the race. Make it happen. You may have one more opportunity to come down on pit road, make that good adjustment, and be ready to finish this race.
All right, while we have a couple of minutes, I mean, let's go over the big picture again. Following the big win by Ryan Newman and Dodge at the Daytona 500, second race of the year. Remember, there's no break after this. Right. We go to Las Vegas and then Atlanta and Bristol before there is a break. So a different kind of track from the restrictor plate racing of the Super Bowl of NASCAR and how things started out. So let's look at what was expected of Dale Earnhardt Jr., okay? Top 10 finish at the 500, but a wreck takes him out of this one.
I was going to say, you can't blame Dale Jr. for what happened to him. He was sitting back there just trying to mind his, own business. The next thing you know, he gets caught up in something not of his own making. So the team has put him back out there on the racetrack, trying to score those valuable points. And, I mean, he's a trooper. He understands how the game's played. He'll pick it up next week in Las Vegas. So, you've got to persevere through this kind of stuff, just like, Jeff Gordon did from Daytona. Right now, he's bounced back. He's running in the top 10, led a lot tonight. So, you got to believe it's your attitude and what kind of character you really are as far as, making it back in.
Well, and you pointed out that, Dale Earnhardt Jr. has not run well in California in the past. The Hendrick cars have, and Jimmy Johnson, Jeff Gordon are currently running well. Of course, right. The mishap for Junior. But what does that say about Jimmy and Jeff in terms of the big picture when you talk about Toyota and Gibbs Racing?
Well, I mean, I think we got a heck of a battle going on right now as far as trying to work that out. And if this race goes, full duration, it may show us something totally different. We've seen the Toyotas get hot because of all the debris on the racetrack. Seems like we're pretty susceptible to the heat as far as engines are concerned. So there's a lot of unknowns. We've been talking about unknowns. These unknowns will continue, at least for the moment, because of the rain.
87 laps in to the Auto Club 500 and the rain. We're going to wait it out. And it looks like the rain is going to move through. The Simpsons Late Local News, and we'll be back. We're not going to leave you hanging for an update. Currently, Jimmy Johnson, your leader. I've always wanted to say this. It's a Laugh Out Loud Sunday. The Simpsons, straight ahead on Fox. You did good, NASCAR.
I just woken up from a nap. Mama! Meatloaf! That's what I'm talking about!
That's just part of the fun. NASCAR on Fox throughout the afternoon and evening. And coming up on the East Coast, local news, West Coast, and primetime programming. And at 11 Eastern, 8 Pacific, an update on the Auto Club 500, powered by Q Motor Oil from the Auto Club Speedway here in Fontana, California, not too far from Los Angeles. After 87 laps, scheduled for 250, Jimmy Johnson has won a couple of California races and is going for his third straight NASCAR championship, is currently the leader. Along with champion crew chief Jeff Hammond, Chris Myers, thanks for tuning in on Fox. We're going to keep you posted because NASCAR